Hello, world, and this is Talkin Live, and pardon me. I'm glad you're watching today. I hope you're watching anyway, and this is kind of a show today that we're going to do on Hunter Biden. We just have to do one because everybody else is. But in my opinion, Hunter, he broke a lot of rules, regulations, laws, and all that. But, I mean, that's just the way seems to be that we're not, nobody's above the law, You remember that, don't you? How many times that they said no one's above the law. But I can feel for Biden. That's his son, and he's old, ready for the grave. 1 foot in the grave, daughter banana peel, like myself, and I can understand him for doing that. But he shouldn't have said he wouldn't. He ought to said, "I'll think about it." Oh, that's what he should have done. He shouldn't have got on there and told everybody he wasn't going to never do it, and all of a sudden he does it. So we want to just kind of think about that. Now, if it was your son, what would you do? But see, the problem is allegedly that Joe and his whole family was in the cahoots, with different foreign leaders and different countries and stuff like that. Allegedly, of course, he could have been shot on video. He was shot on video saying that if you don't fire that guy, I'm going to cut you $1 billion off. So how are we going to know what's right anymore? Because it seems to me that the law is bending. It can bend, or it can just not be observed at all. I think that our nation has got so far away from right and wrong, we don't consider, the law anymore. We just say that, Of course, we know there's a lot of crooked stuff going on, the FBI and all the different people, because of, I don't know, they just don't care. I love my country, and I like to protect it in every way I can, and I just can't understand how that people can just do something and be guilty. I mean, you see the evidence, and then it's they don't work with the law. It just works with who they are and the power they have. That's what I see sometimes. Which and like I said, I don't think they should make such a big deal out of that. Pardon, because, I mean, I know he said he'd do this and do that, but he didn't do it. But everybody who does that once in a while don't do what they say they're going to do. I mean, I've talked to people, that's supposed to have been on this show here every day, lied to me. They didn't come. And so, what can you do? That's the way it is. In my business, and we just get all these issues and we just forget about them. Forget about somebody going to do this, somebody going to do that. Well, I can't do it, but they ain't got the respect for you to call you and tell you the reason they're stopping, the reason they're going to do business with you, or the reason they're going to be your guest. They don't have a reason. They just blow you off, or they won't even answer you. I mean, I answer people. It don't matter what they, I get these calls all the time, where people are calling me and trying to sell me something, and I listen to them, and I tell them no, and no, 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 no. They just keep on. They're kind of like me, so when I'm trying to sell somebody, but I just hang up on them. And of course, sometimes I don't like to do that because it's rude. I talk to people in California. They got manners of a dog, or a dog's got manners better than they have sometimes. When you call them, they're just hang up on you, let you keep talking. You think you're talking to somebody. But I mean, yeah, sometimes people get the big head. They think they're bigger, better than you. And that's the issues we got today. And since Joe is president, he has the right to pardon his son or anybody else he feels like. That's his right as president. Whether it's right or not, he has that right. He's a president. He can do what he wants to when it comes to pardoning, even where it's wrong or right. And that's what he did. And that's his son. You got to look at it this way. That's his son. His son would go to prison a long time for that. And there's others who got away with worse things than he's done, I think. I don't know all the things that Hunter done, but, I mean, that's Joe's son. And I had no problem with him pardoning his son. You know, he shouldn't say he wasn't, but he was running for election. He had to lie something. You know, when you're running for election and when you try to get something going on, you just lie like a dog, aren't you, sometimes? I try not to do that because I don't want to lose respect, you know. People lose respect for me. I don't lie to you. I won't tell you something that I don't know is a fact. And there's so many other people that, there's other people or do worse, but they pay their debt to society and first they not, first and then not before they are sentenced. So, but I mean, it should have waited till he got sentenced and all that, but I don't think that matters anymore. He didn't have time to stay in office, And, Donald Trump wouldn't hurt to pardon him and all these guys they set up in Washington on January the 6th. They put in prison. They put them in jail just because they walked in the White House or the Congress. And they walked in there, and some of them didn't even do nothing, or some of them was just there watching, observing, basically observing what's going on, and they got caught in the part where they are guilty of doing the right, so they wasn't really doing it right. They was just there, nosing around. They got in trouble. I mean, we got a lot of people that nose around. And, you got people that bad-mouth you, too, nowadays. They're bad-mouth, and they're bad-mouth Hunter. Cause I know he's guilty. I wasn't there, but I'm allegedly saying he's guilty. Because I think that all the fingers was pointing toward him. I mean, he didn't. I mean, if I'm working in the oil business, I got to know about the oil business. I can't make no money without my daddy's the president. And I can't go to countries and they just look at me and say, "Oh, you're so beautiful. Here's your $1 million." I mean, there has to be a catch to it. I mean, I deal with Chinese, Korean, and all them, and they actually, some come see me today from China. They dropped by my facility and they sent me some gifts, and I work with them, and we're planning on doing some stuff together. And by the way, I think the tariff thing going to jump to those 60%. I talked to them about that, maybe 30, but not 60. But we do need to stop the fentanyl coming into the country. And, and you got to look at Hunter, too. I mean, concerning fentanyl and all that. You got to look at this, too. He probably got it all messed up, and he done stuff. He knows he's doing wrong, but he done it because he's high. I've been drunk and messed up and never took drugs, but I mean, I've been drunk on alcohol and I really messed up a lot of times, so I can give him that too, and everybody needs to give him that. I mean, when you're on drugs, you do stupid things. Sometimes when you're stone sober, I do. Sometimes don't like to point my finger at nobody, and but when I see it, I see it. It's there. You can't change it. I mean, I mean, it's just like these immigrants going and breaking the houses and doing stuff like these gangs and all that. It's there. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it not being there. You see it. I mean, I know the Democrats don't see it. A lot of them don't. I want you to know that if you're a Democrat, you got just as much to say what you feel as I have. And it's not about Democrats. It's about right and wrong. I mean, legally, Hunter should have to pay and answer for what he done. But see, his dad's the president. See, that makes a difference. It only makes a difference. Donald Trump, I mean, I think it's all trumped up charges against Donald Trump. Now, I ain't seen Donald Trump when it was an angel or nothing like that, but what I've seen mostly is a bunch of propaganda that is like we're in Russia or something, trying to get rid of the competition. That's what I think, but it didn't work. It didn't work. People didn't fall for it. And you notice they're dropping the cases against him, and they should drop more. I mean, if Joe gets rid of some of the people by pardoning them, get rid of their sentence and all that, because he's president, that he can do it. That's legal. It might not be right, but he's legally doing that. Now, he wasn't legal putting all that secret paperwork and top secret stuff in his garage and all over the place. He scattered it. He wasn't legal of that. He's guilty of that. I mean, if he wasn't guilty, then why did they raid Donald Trump? How can he be guilty? See, that's the way the law is. He's Joe Biden. He's the president. He's old. He's senile. He don't know what he's doing. Well, what the crap is he still a president for? Why is he still calling the shots? He's a nut. His old age has took his reason away. I mean, I forget stuff, and I start to do something, forget what I'm doing. I mean, that comes with old age and too much on your mind. And I'd like to do a show later on about how people are stressed out so much they can't sleep. I, myself, have a hard time sleeping. And, it's a lot of times I think about people that are lost and dying in hell. And I think, of course, I know that you can do a lot of things and be saved, and you just live like hell and still be saved. That's the way that I read it. I'll go and study about what, different denominations, where I don't get into that. But what we're talking about now is Hunter Biden. What he did, and he was guilty. And he was guilty, and he got away with it. I mean, he won't get away with it, with God, but I mean, I think, trafficking and all that kind of stuff, that's bad. I mean, what excuse do you have for that? I hear about these famous singers or movie stars, they get caught trafficking and doing things like that, and they got so much money, and why did they do that? I mean, why did they take and traffic little children and all this kind of stuff? They got all the money in the world. Why did they do that? I'm talking about, I'm talking about African-American guy. I got his name, and it just can't come out. But he's got all that money, and then are you going to pardon him? I'm just comparing stuff, I'm just talking about comparing, if the old saying, the pot can't talk about the kettle, I mean, this is guilty, both are guilty. And it's this to the point that everybody seems to be get a lot of stuff, and they get away with it, but they don't get away with God. I'm talking about up in Washington D.C. I'm talking about stuff like Schumer. He gets away with stuff, and Pelosi, she gets away with stuff. She can go buy stock. She can do anything. That's because she's powerful. That's the reason. And they sit around and holler, "Oh, nobody's above the law." And I heard AOC might run for president. That would be something. We got a bartender that recycles cans, and she's in the Congress, and she got into Congress. Now she wants to run for president. It just gets worse and worse all the time. How in the world are we going to ever get somebody in the Democratic Party that's got sense enough to do anything without destroying the country? I mean, there's some good people in the Democratic Party, but they vote Democrat because Mama did, Daddy did, Uncle did, brother did, sister did. They don't vote for what's right. They vote for color. They vote for family tradition. They don't vote for what is right. I mean, some guy that had his penis took off, he's trying to get in there to play sports with the women. He's not no woman. Now, there's somebody that don't need pardoning. Well, they're in bad. I mean, it's terrible. Gavin Newsom, I mean, if he done run for dog catcher, that man, I mean, I'm just pointing out stuff that they say and they do, and that's why I say it about them. Donald Trump, if he raises a tariff to 60% on China, it's not good for America. But he is trying to deliver America from all the high prices by threatening them because he can't afford to go 60%. You can't do that. Most everything you look at is made in China, South Korea, Vietnam. I mean, I like Versace made in Italy, Gucci, Armani. I like all that stuff, but it's made in Italy. I don't know that they didn't get some Chinese to make it. But everybody's trying to cut costs. And you know why? It's because the country has been raped. This country has been raped and defrauded. And, you know, I think about, you know, Elon Musk, that's a tight sucker, man, that lives in a little bitty building. They, of course, don't have a big home. Of course, that's his way. He gets more out of begging money and doing things than he does living in a big home, I guess. But I can't understand why that we got a broke Hunter Biden. He's broke and all that. Yeah, but I understand he took $1 million spending a party. You know, can't say nothing about that. I pay my taxes, but what I'm saying is I partied and wasted a lot of money to myself. You know, and I can't say too much about that, see. I don't care if he is a Democrat, Hunter, or Biden, or who he is. I done the same thing. I spent all my money partying. But I did pay my taxes. And I got my taxes settled. I paid all my taxes. But, you know, I'm making good money. And some people just can't handle it. And I'm one that can't handle a lot of money. Well, I think I can do better now than I done years ago. I thought I was supposed to have everything in the world that I never had. And after I had it, I was still miserable as crap. You know, and that's kind of a thing that gets a hold of people like Hunter. And I'm not excusing him up for what he done. I'm just talking about the things that happen to a person when they mess with drugs. They lose control. Or you get drunk. You get lose control. You have no control. You're goofy. You do stupid things you would never do, and that's what Hunter done, see? But he was hooked on drugs. But if you never take drugs, then you don't have to worry about getting hooked on them. I mean, these doctors, man, pills for this, pills for that, pills. And that gets a lot of people hooked on drugs. I mean, this is a sick world. Everybody's sick nowadays. You have to take a pill for this, it'll cause that. You got after effects on all these pills. Maybe Hunter took a bunch of stuff and after effects come out. I don't know. But I know one thing. He lost control. And he thought, well, my dad is the president. I can get away with anything. And he did. As it is today, I don't think Congress, I don't think nobody should, President Trump, nobody should go after him. Leave the man alone. Leave the man alone. He got pardoned. Leave him alone. Don't worry about Biden. I'm worried about what he can do before he gets out of office more than I am Hunter. I mean, try to block this. I seen where he's trying to stop the coal mines and stop the mining of the coal mines. I seen that. I mean, I'm worried about more what Joe Biden's going to do before he gets out of office than I am Hunter. Let Hunter alone. Worry about the others. And if sooner or later he'll go back doing something while he's got, I hope not, but odds are he'll do something stupid after this pardon. If he messes with drugs, he probably will. I mean, that's a cost of drugs. See, but he's just crooked anyway, so, I mean, of course his daddy allegedly is crooked. What I've seen, heard, they just couldn't do nothing about it. Or didn't want to, I don't know. He got all the FBI and all this working for him and trying to get rid of Donald Trump and all this stuff. Like playing Putin. That's what Putin done. He tried to get rid of his competition. The only difference is he killed the suckers while he was in prison. Sent him to prison, then got him, and then he got poisoned. I wonder how that happened. But everybody that does wrong, it'll catch up with them if they don't stop and think about the cost. It'll catch up with you. But you go, it don't matter who you are, it will catch up with you. Because that's the way it works. And people today don't see it that way. I heard of. Now, if it's possible. God loves Hunter Biden just like he does anybody else. He died for him too. You don't know, maybe Hunter will see himself. Maybe he'll be after he got in all that trouble and he got out of it. Maybe he'll turn, maybe he'll get to be a Christian, maybe he'll just quit all the crazy stuff. But see, when you get on drugs, that's what I'm saying. You get on drugs, but he wasn't on drugs when he went and done the stuff in Ukraine, China, and all that. I'm sure he might have been out once in a while, but he couldn't have made the deal. He done it willingly. He went, sat down with the crooks, and joined up with them. That's what he did. And he benefited from Ukraine. I bet he don't know what that stupid drill battery is for an oil rig. Somebody asked Hunter what a drill bit is, and a battery that powers that drill bit to drill oil well. Somebody asked him if he knows what that is. I do. But anyway, Hunter's free and clear because his dad's the president. That's the way it works. But nobody is above the law. Is that true? Above the law? Is that true? I guarantee you there's thousands above the law in cities, counties, mayors, judges, all above the law. Police chiefs, sheriffs, all of them people. Not all of them. Depends on the city, it depends on them. But Hunter is above the law. So that's all I got to say. Have a Merry Christmas. Doubt you see me again, I'll tell you a Merry Christmas again, and God bless you, your family, Hunter Biden.
The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin Live presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin Live TV broadcast studio, or by this channel or its management.
Hello world! Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notifications of our upcoming broadcasts. Explore our large archive of shows. Watch any episodes you need to see again. Find our YouTube channel online at youtube.com/@Talkin Live Show, or on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV home screen. Head to the YouTube app to watch without the need of any expensive cable TV service. Subscribe today. Get ready for some Talkin Live.